Hi guys, Dr. Traeger here, and we just finished up with our 11-year-old checkup, and now, woo, 6th grade, here it is. This is great. So you're right now, there's a lot that's going on in your kid's life. At 6th grade is one of those things, and at this appointment at 10 and 11, there are some vaccines that we're getting today. Okay, so first things first, remember, share these videos with the folks that weren't able to make it to the appointment with you. And remember that some of these topics are things that we hinted at or talked about a little bit in the office, and then more of them to follow up on details and stuff like that in the video here. Okay, so when it comes to the vaccines at 10 and 11, there are some vaccines. Now, the number one at 11, there is this meningitis vaccine that is required by the state of Illinois for 6th grade. You have to be 11 when you get it per the state requirements. So that's why this appointment had to be after you turn 11. You get this dose now, and you also get another dose after 16 years of age, before your senior year of high school. And meningitis is a serious brain infection. Kids die from this stuff, so that's why they get this at this age. The second vaccine is also the whooping cough and the tetanus vaccine that comes at 10 or 11. Sometimes they'll give it a 10 and give it a 10, so you got it either 10 or at 11, and that's the last booster of that. The next time they get a tetanus shot is when they turn 20-ish, okay? So it's quite a while from now, which is kind of cool. And then the last thing is this thing called the Gardasil vaccine, or the cervical cancer vaccine. So this vaccine is been around for over a decade. It's been in research and development for even longer than that. And this thing is very, very safe and very, very effective. All of my children have gotten this vaccine when they were 9 and 10 years of age. That's the earliest that we can give it. And the reason for it is because I want to protect my kids from cancer. Okay, there's going to be another video that's back at the 10-year-old checkup that talks about the details of this thing. But the bottom line is this thing is safe. This thing is effective. If I didn't think it was safe and effective, my kids wouldn't get it, and I wouldn't be offering it to you guys as well. If you're hearing things on the internet or from somebody who has a friend of a friend who knows some guy who lives in their basement who had a friend who had a reaction to the vaccine, just please be careful about those kinds of things. Okay, we're protecting kids from cancer here. Girls, they get cervical cancer. Boys, they get cancer of their head and neck and head and neck and anus and things like that. So why don't we protect them from something that's preventable? Okay, this is great. So we love this thing, and this thing is super safe and super effective, and we'll be happy to answer all your questions about it, but this is a good idea for them to get it, okay? So see the other video about that, and we have plenty of resources out there. Okay, so on to the fun stuff. So getting ready for 6th grade. Have you asked your kid, what do they think about this? Now, a normal reaction in 6th grade, going into 6th grade, is like, hey, you excited about 6th grade next year? And it's, You're like, really? That's it? I mean, that's a big change, and most of the time that's the response you're going to get. Sometimes you're going to get things where people are like, oh my goodness, I'm so afraid of this. Well, we need to set our expectation a little different. Or if they go in and they say, man, 6th grade's going to be the best thing ever, peaking at the best of my life, then we need to slow down a little bit on that one too. But have a discussion with them, see what their feelings are. And over time, as we're getting closer to it, 5th grade does a great job of ramping people up and getting ready for it. Yeah, you should be talking about those things as well with you guys. So just something to kind of throw out there, talk with them about it, see what their feelings are, and let us know how things are going. Puberty, it's a big deal. Okay, there's a lot of things that are happening right now in their lives. The girls and boys going through a little bit of a early growth spurt, and that's great. So if you have a small kid, okay, let's say your kid's on the smaller side of things, encourage them to eat right, okay? Say, hey, look, man, you're getting bigger, okay? You need protein, you need things in your body to help kind of build you up. You tell them, say, hey, look, man, I want you to be as tall as you can. Let's make sure we're eating good and healthy things. And a lot of kids, really, really echo that, and they feel good about that. But at the same time, if they're not a small kid, let's be really careful about what we're putting in our body to make sure that we're growing the right way. We have other videos that talk about the obesity and things like that. Please pay attention to those things as well. But at this age, a lot of 11-year-olds, it is like a bottomless pit where they just eat and eat and eat and eat, and just make sure that we're being healthy about those kinds of things. If they come home and they're just like, man, I'm starving, I need something to eat. Say, okay, here, grab some carrots and whatever. And they say, no, I can't do that. Well, then you're not hungry enough. Okay, so maybe you don't need the Snickers and the whole tube of Pringles, that the kids will eat it sometimes. But just kind of watch out for those things. Also, kids at this age, usually after school, need a little bit of time to decompress. They need a little bit more personal space with things. So it's okay to say, all right, come home, chill out, get your work done, do whatever, and then leave them alone for a little bit. Make sure they're not spending too much time on social media, but they should be able to warm up. They should be able to have conversations with the family. They shouldn't be locked in their room the whole time. In fact, it's totally fine at this age to say, no, you sleep in your room. Everything else is out in public with everyone else. So it just gives them opportunity and gives them a chance to feel like they're part of a family, which is very important at this age. Your identity as a family, your identity of where you fit in the world is really starting to be formed well at this age. So you can use things like, man, you're an important part of the family. I appreciate how you help out. I appreciate how you bring so much humor to everything. I love it that, that we can rally around, your performances or sports and things like that. But this is the way our family functions. Those are important words, and they want to feel like they're doing well and doing good with these kinds of things. Ask them about their friends. That's their peer group. That's where they fit in. So there's the bucket of family, there's the bucket of peer groups, there's the bucket of sports or band, whatever. See where they fit in with those things and encourage those relationships. And ask them what their friends are doing. Okay, now that's kind of a weird thing to say. So like you can very frankly ask them, man, you're 11, do you really think that like we need to be smoking or drinking, or is anyone doing that kind of stuff? Or do you know any older siblings do that? Ask them about that stuff. Now, a lot of times we think that if we ask it, we're triggering that. No, we're not. Okay. Ask them if their friends, do any of your friends seem like they're sad? Any of their friends do whatever? And they'll sometimes tell you, they'll say, yeah. Well, what do you feel about that? How do you feel about the way they feel? Do you ever feel that way? That's a good way to kind of get them to open up a little bit. So that's that. So 10 and 11, this is a lot of fun. There's a lot of things that are going on. And the next time that we'll see you guys is next year. And let us know if there's any issues, but keep up the good work and keep working on these kids, because this age it's a whirlwind and it's a lot of fun. Thank you so much.